go in there and take one. We got to go in there and take one of the two, preferably the first one. If we get that first one, obviously series should be over. If we lose that first one, pressure's on us. We got to take that second one. So I'm gonna enjoy these first two wins, but we got to go get that third one in Minnesota.
My thoughts are, I think the amount of minutes that we played, these guys, they've got to get a little bit of rest going into the next game. The reason we started out so hot in this one is in the first quarter, we played Shai pretty much the whole first quarter to keep us in it. And I feel like that was the difference. Mark playing Shai and JDub higher minutes than we typically do. Usually they get a lot more rest throughout the game. I feel like Mark really wanted to win this one. I could tell the way he played the minutes showed that he really wanted this one going in. And that showed me, that was the thing I said in the earlier part of the game, is it shows that he believes that we can definitely take one of the two games that are upcoming. I feel like it's a little bit more likely that we take the second of the two, because coming off this grueling kind of game. So that's kind of my prediction, that we take that second one at home and on their home court, and then finishing it in 5.
86 for the combined 3, J-Dubs, Chet, Shai. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a big 3 for sure. My prediction, listen, we should beat this team every game. I know it's the playoffs and every game's different and every game's hard. We just got to play to our strengths and listen, Minnesota's got to figure out what to do. They sat Randall for, pretty much the whole fourth, and he couldn't. We took him out of the game today, which I completely expected. Not as bad, but we were all expecting this. Our defense and our matchups will figure him out pretty easily. And had another really inefficient game. That's what I expect from him. I think he'll get one game in Minnesota that he plays very well in, but they were trying to say that Ant got his tonight. Ant didn't do much. I think it was 12 of 26 or whatever.
He stat padded.
Go in there. Yeah, they were pushing a comeback. They were trying to pull it Indiana, but JDub closed this one out really, and Shai. We go in there and like Shai said, we start fast. I'm not worried about resting people. It's the Western Conference Finals. There's no time to rest. We had the first game. We played Kenrich. We played a lot of Isaiah Joe. We played, the bench guys in the fourth. We should go get game 3. There's no reason we shouldn't. Nothing's going to be different. Just the atmosphere. We're not home. Go in and just win game 3 and finish the series. Now, if Minnesota does come out and play their best brand of basketball and take game 3, and we got something to talk about. But right now, let's go in and win the third one.
What do you think, Jack?
Well, I wanted to credit you because you said, I think it was in the predictions about Julius Randle just not being him, and he's going to struggle against the Thunder defense. And I didn't entirely believe it. I thought he'd still put up some good numbers because he's been pretty hot this playoffs, but holy shit, he had a stinker. 18% from the field, 2 for 11, 0 for 3 for 3. Set the fourth. So credit to Sat there for predicting that one.
That's JDub, man. That's all defense, second team. JDub taking that guy completely out of the game, playing physical with him. JDub played awfully physical tonight. It was awesome to watch. When JDub looks like that and he's shooting well, his middies and threes were on fire tonight, but the aggressiveness he played with, came back down from nobody, that's a different type of animal. I think this is probably one of the better games I've seen from JDub. I know he's had some great scoring performances, but just all around games, this was truly impressive tonight. I'm super excited for the guy. He looks like he's the real deal.
Lou Dort had a big game as well. If you look at his, I was breaking that down before you guys got in here. 9 points, plus 29 overall for his defense. And then on top of that, he had 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. He kind of did it all as well. I feel like the whole team came together and gelled. I mentioned this in the last game. that was the first game that I'd seen the big three and the rest of the team kind of pull together a typical Thunder win that we've been used to in the regular season. We hadn't seen that neither of the previous two series. And the other prediction that I made, by the way, was eventually they're going to have to give away and sit Rudy Gobert, because playing that style, Rudy Gobert has been a non-factor in this game and the previous one. He can't guard Shai. He's fouling us. On top of it, they're giving up three-pointers way too easily, mid-range way too easily. And he's just, if he can't guard and he can't provide anything outside of rebounding, he's pretty much a traffic cone out there. And I predicted that if they go down 2-0, their adjustment should be starting Naz Reid, playing small ball, and hoping that the lack of rim protection doesn't hurt them, because that's their only way of even maybe taking one game off of us. If they keep playing the same style, they're getting swept. They're going to get swept.
Here's the question. I think Chris Finch is a good coach. I think he leads by example terribly, the way he bitches and moans. I think it's ridiculous. But he is smart. If he does come out and make those adjustments starting small, we got to start small too now. And we didn't look great in the fourth, but we looked really good in those first three quarters. We've been going away from double big pretty early, about like 3 minutes into the game, and that's all we've been playing. I guess just to start off with Gobert, but if they go small, we go small. I still favor us, especially with guys like Kaysen and Caruso. I think it's going to have to be Nickeil Alexander-Walker and DiVincenzo shooting the lights out. But again, DiVincenzo, this isn't a matchup for him, and that showed again tonight where he sat most of the end of the third and the whole fourth quarter. So
yeah, he stunk it up today.
It's just bad matchups for them. But if there is anything I could say bad about tonight, which I didn't enjoy, was we're up 22 at the end of the third, and now we're giving them a little bit of something to work with, a little bit of faith going back home. They won the last quarter by what? What did they win the last quarter by? Like 9 points or so. That's giving them a little bit of momentum, going home especially, showing a little bit of flaws on our side. Hopefully it was just, we played like shit and we'll play better, but they got something working over there.
Yeah, we got some great comments here. El Sombra mentioned, McDaniel's foul trouble woes have really cost him because you can't really play the full amount of time against him. Losing your best point of attack defender is horrible. It feels like they can't put together a full performance, and even if they could, I still don't think they can beat us. I was looking at the way they played today. Even if they had Randall on for, let's say he scored 10 more points, they still lose this game. That's where they're at pretty much. They have to play nearly a perfect game, and I feel like they can maybe pull one game off where they play nearly perfect, or Anthony Edwards shoots magically from the three-point line in one game. But outside of that, I don't see many opportunities for growth, because if your bench is going to do so well in the first half and you're not going to capitalize on it going into the second half of the game, when are you going to win the game? What game are you even going to win, in my opinion? The other point Bradley mentioned was Shai's averaging 34.5 points per game in the Western Conference Finals right now. I've got some other stats that I'll pull up here. OKC is 7-1 at home right now. Obviously, our margin of victory has increased from 24.5 to 27.6 in the 7 home victories. I feel like that's got to be some sort of record. We're 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. Game 3 is in Minnesota on Saturday, and this is the best time to be a Thunder fan. We've been waiting since 2016 to get back into this scenario situation. Our MVP just won MVP night. 38 points on great efficiency, 8 assists. I mean, the big three played nearly a perfect game that you could, as well as you could, conjure up right here. And in the last 5 games, Shai has 38 points, 31 points, 35 points, 32 points, 31 points. You have to start appreciating his greatness, regardless of if there's a free throw line or not. Hey, Timberwolves fans, we'll give you our free throws and we'll still win the game. Seriously.
Yeah, he absolutely dominated tonight. There was nothing they could do about it. They, as much as they want to complain and complain and complain, he was frying them from everywhere, from three, from mid range. Doesn't matter who they put on them, they were getting cooked, and it led to McDaniel's temper tantrum, which is funny to me, right? Because all we hear is the Thunder won't go to the finals because of their inexperience. Minnesota's more experienced. Well, Minnesota has been to the Western Conference Final last year, and that's all they got experience-wise, right? So it's pretty much even. And it's laughable to say inexperienced because our team looks calm, cool, collected, very experienced, while
We're the
Minnesota's
nonchalants. We're the
right. While
nonchalants.
Minnesota's throwing temper tantrums and can't calm down their heads, and it's sad. It's sad. It really is. But that's what I said before. It starts with the head coach, and he does it as well. So it's not their fault.
We also broke this down in the preview. I mentioned we're not the Golden State Warriors, and we are certainly not the Lakers. We're not Jackson Hayes. We have Chet Holmgren. We have Hartenstein. We're not Draymond Green. We're not small in the paint. The problem is the game plan that they inserted in the first half worked. They just didn't carry it out for the full 48, which was going for rim pressure. But the problem is Julius Randle is not really a guy that gets downhill that way. He's more of a shot making. Yeah, he relies on the block, and he can't process decision making quick enough. So he's pretty much out of the game when you try to attack us to the basket. Anthony Edwards did a solid job of that, but I mentioned this as well. The more Anthony drives, the worse his 3-point shooting gets because he gets more and more tired. He's like a boxer. You want him to keep driving on you, or you want him to keep just chucking up shots because eventually that man will tire out. He did that in the last Western Conference Finals. He got tired out, and he's doing that right now. So I just don't see many avenues, man.
I don't either. I'm extremely excited to see how we look in Minnesota. We know how we looked the first game in Memphis. Ended up winning. Probably wasn't going to win that game if Ja didn't go down. Wasn't going to win the series in 5. Don't get it wrong. But we've had really good games in Denver. 2 that we didn't win, but 3 hard-fought games in Denver. We only took 1. I'd like to see growth on the road. That's the last thing I'm looking from this team is just can we, supply the same products that we put out at home in Minnesota. If we do, they don't beat us more than once this series. It's literally just, are we going to play our style? Are we going to play our ball, or are we going to shoot 43s and miss them all and screw up a game? Because that's the only way we lose. It's the only way we lose.
That's mainly on JDub, Chet, and Shai, obviously, because from what I've watched this playoffs, the role players' offense vanishes when we're on the road. You don't get anyone scoring more than 10 points on any good efficiency, so we really need to look to the big 3. I mean, they had a fantastic night tonight, but if we can, if Shai sets the tone, then everyone feeds off them on the road. At home, we're pretty good at feeding off the crowd, but when we're on the road, different story. So it'll be interesting.
I agree. I look for the big 3, Shai, Chet, Dub, and I look forward to leaning on not Kaysen. Well, it would be nice, but Alex Caruso. I mean, he's another guy who showed up on the road, even though, it looks like he shoots better at home. His defense travels, and that's the key for our team. Defense travels, right? So as long as we just come out shooting decent and playing the defense we're known for, we should go up 3-0. We really should. And, it's crazy to think about that. I'm so hesitant to say that because it's like, we're not going up 3-0 in a Western Conference Final, right? Like, there's no way. And I'm still hesitant, but, if you watch the product on the court, we should be going up 3-0. There's no reason not to go up 3-0 besides maybe Ant goes for 40 type game where he was trying to get it going tonight, and he did at times, but even at in the end, shooting 40% from the field is not going to win you games, and that's who he is as a player at this moment.
He shot 46 from field. I mean, it was solid, but he had to do that 26 times just to get his 12 shots to make for the 32. It's just not the efficiency that you want from that level of a player. And I also feel like it's overblown because of the type of personality that Anthony Edwards has. He's closer to Ja Morant than he is to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. It's way overblown. MJ's son is not. Like I said in the last recording, MJ's son is more of a distant cousin than anything. He's nowhere close to any of these guys.
Not related to MJ. Come on now.
Huh?
That's a good saying. That's a good saying, but listen, there is something with that guy where if he smells blood, he turns into a different beast, and you saw that come out a little bit in the fourth quarter. Luckily, JDub was able to answer a few times down the stretch, but he wasn't messing around. He was knocking down his shots in the fourth. That's where his percentage went up. So it's about not giving him that percentage, not giving him that chance. Don't even let him smell blood. Just kill him. Kill him while he's down. Like that 22-point lead should have turned it into 30. I don't care. Don't get comfortable now. It's the playoffs. It's a Western Conference Final. And it easily can, and it probably will. But that's where Ant's good is when he sees a little bit of weakness, a little bit of tiredness. That's when that's where he thrives. Also, he's very good defensively. I'll say he's very good defensively. Super athletic as well, so he's able to protect the rim. He had a couple blocks tonight, a couple blocks last game. But
I still stick by my statement, regardless.
I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Edwards guarding Shai.
Oh yeah, he was the best defender on Shai. They broke it down. He was the only one really making any impact, and
so
Shai,
he was.
Go ahead.
My bad. He was the best defender on Shai. I saw 3 shots go in and out. He still got to his spot. He just missed a shot. He's riding super confident right now. I've never seen him this confident before. Tonight, I think getting the trophy. I honestly think it really meant something to him, and now he's like, all right, yeah, I am that.
And having CP3 in the crowd and his wife, because his wife is usually not on the front row, so I feel like that's huge for him too. So like both those factors, he played a nearly perfect game tonight, as well as you can get. So
he did. He man, he looked. I mean, he looked like the best player in basketball. He really did, and there's nothing they could do to stop him. Sapphire, can I talk to you about something? Do I have permission?
Of course.
I was almost crying physically when I saw Minnesota go into zone and OKC hit the middle 3 times in a row. They hit Caruso 2 times in a row and Chet 3 times in a row, and they scored on each possession. I was pleading. I was begging for this against Denver. They had no idea what to do. Today, Minnesota's like, all right, we can't guard a man. Let's go to zone. They were out of that zone in 2 minutes because we were hitting that middle and just scoring at ease, bro. Caruso floater, Caruso jump shot. There's an alley-oop wide open. There's a kick out to Casey wide open. I mean, they have no answers, man.
Can I respond to the zone comment? The
Absolutely.
type of zone Timberwolves played is completely different than the type of zone the Nuggets played. The zone Timberwolves played is a very soft zone that you can attack in the middle. The box and 1 stuff they were running that was so advanced that would turn into like a 2-3. Sometimes it's a box and 1 is so much way more advanced than the type of zone that they were running here that you can attack that like all day. That's like a AAU high school level type of thing that it's not that advanced. They were going from they were doing a lot more movement in terms of their zone where they were moving it up sometimes, high press in the half court, sometimes a low press. They were switching it up on Shai so much. That's why it was a harder read. The read for theirs is they had a stagnant zone. You go into the middle, you hit up a shot or you pass it out. Super easy read. Against the Jokic-led smart Nuggets team, way harder. And
it looked a bit harder, but that middle was still wide open.
It was open. Hard. It looked a lot more. It looked a lot more open than it was.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's actually open. It's like wide open. You hit it into the middle. There's no pressure. In that one, there were still 2 defenders that you had to figure out what you were going to do, and so that's the difference. But yeah.
But I guess we could do some predictions here, Jack. Game 3 prediction.
I'm I'm going to predict a win, but if we were going to lose a game, I'd want us to lose game 3. But I think it's hard to say because I still think we're going to win in 5. But realistically, we'd lose game 4 and then win back. But I'm going to say a win. It's going to be a close one and probably the toughest game we've played against them so far because they're on their home court. Still going to embarrass them.
I was going to say, Rafi, go ahead, man.
I think we're definitely gonna win game 3. 107 to 104. That's my score prediction.
Oh, he gave us the score prediction too. I love it. Sapir, go ahead.
Man, I'm gonna break down my thought process.
Yeah, I like that.
Western Conference Finals 2016. What happened in that was absolutely despicable. How we had a 3-1 lead. What I don't want in this scenario is us to go up 3-0. They win game 4. It's 3-1. They somehow beat us on our home court because there's a lot of pressure. We have a young team. And then it snowballs, right? I don't want that scenario for us. What I'd prefer is if we lose this next game and then we win the next 2, I'd feel a lot more comfortable with that scenario, with that type of mindset. Because it'll keep us on a little bit more edge. Like, oh, we're it's 2-1, it's not 3-1. It gives a different mentality. You're up 3-0, you get comfortable. And I'm not saying because we have a young team or inexperience or anything like that. It's just trying to close out on the other team's home court and then they come back after a win. There's momentum in the NBA. I believe in that. And I'd rather them not come off a win on their home court going into ours and us having to close out in a high pressure scenario where it's going to be probably a really close game, 5-point game. I prefer it the other way around where we come off the momentum. We lose the next one. We win the one after that. Then we win the one after that. That's my prediction. I prefer it that way. I still think we can win 2 in a row. We've seen it with the Nuggets. I think that game 5 at home in the other scenario is going to be such a toss-up of who could win because of the ratcheted up pressure that I don't know if I want to even go through that as a Thunder fan.
So times we lost during the regular season on the road, and even in this playoff, was when our shooting just went stale. We just couldn't find a shooter. Role players couldn't shoot. Shai, Lou, Dub couldn't shoot. I think we still come out on top, even if we aren't having our best shooting game, because we shot like shit again tonight at home, and we still win by double digits. We were up by 24, 22 points, and gave away a little. That fourth quarter does scare me. They are going to have a little bit of momentum running into Minnesota. I think if we're able to shoot just a little bit higher than our average, we take the third game. I really do. I just don't see anywhere they're better. I just don't think they're better anywhere. I could see Minnesota going on a run. I don't think they end it early. I think we go up 3-0. I think we go up 3-0. I think they'll get the fourth one, maybe. Right now, I'm just going to give you I think we win the game on Saturday.
I'm going to double down real quick. If we win next game, it's a sweep. If we're up 3-0,
that's what I was about to say.
Let me tell you, 3-0, there's no way.
We are 100% sweeping this team. I'm telling you right now, 100%.
Bold statement, Raph.
We're sweeping them. That's it.
So here's my thing. So breaking down game 3, if they are going to make their adjustments, I kind of expect it's more Nikhil, more Nas, less Rudy, less Randall, less Dante.
No, they need a little bit more Dante. Dante's been solid.
They could leave Dante out there. He's been getting cooked on defense. But anyway, less Rudy, less Randall.
That's the move.
That opens up a lot of more space for Edwards to get downhill what they want. That's what they want. I think that's what we want as well, because they can't match us 2 for 2. They can't. No team in the league can match us 2 for 2. The only way to beat OKC is you got to shoot 80% from 3 one night. That's really it. So we're gonna just have to hope Nikhil and Nas don't go for 20 each, 15 each, respectively. Like, and hope that Dante doesn't end up getting crazy over there too. Because if they start spraying, then we might have a bit of a problem because we know our shooting doesn't travel so well as of now. It might. But I just if they're trying to match us 2 for 2 it's what they did tonight. The game plan was to get to the rim, and you can't beat OKC. They have the best scorers of the 2 ball ever. Like Shai's gonna get his more than 50% of the time. When JDub's on, it's more than 50% of the time. Chet's big as hell. You just gotta lay the ball in. Hartenstein's dunking on everybody. You can't match them. You're gonna lose possessions. And when we stack up fast break points, that's where you lose the game. And then it's just a luxury when we hit 3 threes in a third quarter and then you're done. So it's going to be a close game, but I really think we're going to win game 3. And I hope I'm not wrong.
Completely agree. I'm going to go ahead and pull up some of these game charts. One thing I did in the halftime was I compared Shai's shot diet versus Anthony Edwards. We can look at this real quick. Anthony Edwards is mainly shooting from the outside, where Shai's pressure is at the rim and at the basket and at the mid level of the court.
This is from tonight?
Yeah, this is from tonight, right here. Shot diet right here. Mm-hmm. And by Shai, you can see all the green spots. So,
yeah, man. I mean, listen. I'm out of words. Jack, I'm out of words, man. I'm out of words. I'm so happy to see you.
I love the 2-3 field goals. Like, he doesn't need to shoot threes, does he? He's not the greatest 3-point shooter, and he's the best mid-range shooter, the best driver in the league. So I love it when he gets to that, and then he pulls up with the big 3 when we need it. But those games where he gets up 7 threes in the first half, and you're just sitting there with your hands in your head, like, you can score on anyone who's in front of you. Can you please go do it? And that's what we saw tonight. So
one thing I will say.
What's up?
Can we pull up the stats from the game today, the Minnesota 3-point stats?
Yeah, man.
My phone's dead right now, but
do you want these or do you want? You can see it right here. 3-point for Minnesota.
3-point percentage. All right, 3-point percentage was still at 28.2. They started off a bit better today. It kind of ended up falling off because they're taking contested threes, and some of them are open. But if they're relying on like Randall to shoot the lights out, it's just not going to happen most of the time. Like Randall's been great, but it's just not going to happen most of the time. This number, that 3-point percentage number, will be closer to 40 at home, most likely. McDaniel shoots pretty well at home. He got it going tonight a little bit as well.
Yeah,
obviously, Ant's going to shoot. Yeah, Ant's going to be shooting better. It's about our 3-point percentage. It's about if theirs goes to 40, ours needs to go to about 33 to 36.
Yeah.
And then we just have to continue to attack the basket. Don't fall in love with the 30.
To ask for either, like.
Yeah, 33% is all I want from this team. League average, and we'll win.
Is if Kaysen makes 2 more threes than he missed in the first half, we have 33% right there. So, I mean, match them by 5 to 6% in the 3-point percentage on the road, and then don't fall in love with the 3 like we did. If you see them make 2 threes, we don't have to make 3 in a row. We can still get 2 baskets in the paint. We get to the free throw line. I think they figured that out. I really do. The problem they were having was they fell in love with the 3 against Denver too early, too often, and they were just wasting possessions because, not to be that brutal, but Lou Dort in that series, every time he shot a 3, it was a wasted possession until Game 5 at home, when he clutched up for us. But like possessions like that, now we're turning into getting to the rim or finding a better shooter, quote unquote better shooter. Like I do like Kaysen shooting the ball. He got it going in the second half today. But getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line, extra passes, just finding the right play. Like we've been finding Chet down low, and he's been covered, but then he makes one drop step, and he's making a pump fake, and he's putting it in the basket every time. We're figuring out how to play playoff basketball and how to play our own shape of playoff basketball, and it's frightening, man. It's frightening to see.
Yeah, I want to break some things down here. Rudy Gobert got out-rebounded by Jalen Williams. That's one thing. The second thing is, if you're not winning the rebound battle by too much, there's no reason to have him on the court, as I have been saying the whole time. On top of it all, look at this. Second chance points. Points in the paint is where we're really destroying them with having JDub's rim pressure. I'll pull up his stats real quick to the side for us if I can find him here. We got so many Jalen Williams. There we go. Got the right one.
You got to get the right one. Don't be the guy. Don't be the guy.
Exactly. We got number 8, JDub. So he only shot a couple times from outside, but mainly he was doing a lot of his work in the paint. The paint pressure that we're putting on this team is unmatched. I think that's where the difference is. That's why I said Julius Randle will drop off, because I don't believe in him from a rim pressure standpoint. He's never been that player. He's a shot taking point forward type of guy. And if he's not going to hit his back down threes, and we're one of the best teams at denying when he's backing down, we'll front him. He's not used to fronting defense. Shai's fronting him. Caruso's fronting him. Smaller defenders are fronting him. And on top of that, we have backdoor help with Lou Dort, Chet. So he's just not used to that type of defense. And so the combination of Rudy and Julius Randle being non-factors, as we've been mentioning this whole time, is the reason we're probably going to end up winning this series here.
Yep.
It's just that simple.
It really is that simple. Unless we go off on a tangent and screw ourselves over, it's that simple. And I wish I could give you guys more right now. I wish I could give some devil's advocate, because I want to. Like, I don't want to say this is a sweep, because one, it shouldn't be. It's the Western Conference Final. No matter what, it shouldn't be a sweep. We most likely shouldn't go up 3-0.
Joe, we won 18 more games than them.
That's one thing. And another thing is, it's just, you watch the game, you watch the product on the court, and it's just, there's not many ways they could get better, Minnesota. They could shoot better, but does that help them defend us? Does that help them get to the rim better? Does that help them stop fouling? Like, no. Can they execute on our level consistently? No, because they're inefficient. And that's what we all said in the series preview. I said, this kind of favors OKC a lot because Edwards is very inefficient. I said, I know that Randle has been super efficient, but we know he's been a very inefficient player his whole career. And then the rest of them, I mean, none of them are that good to really be like, okay, we got to worry about this guy a lot. Like, Nas is great, but he's not like 30 points a game. McDaniels is good when he's shooting well, but when he's losing his mind because he can't guard the best player in the world, he's done.
He's the same guy that punched a wall and fractured his hand in a playoff game, I believe. So he loses his mind pretty quickly.
Yeah, I have a question about the whole Minnesota squad. Do you guys think that they're way too far where we're living in their heads rent free because of Shai?
That's actually a really good question, and I'm going to answer that first. I don't even think it's because of Shai. I truthfully think, and tell me if I'm wrong here, I think it's Chris Finch. The way he reacts to Shai scoring on them, the way he reacts to certain foul calls, the way he reacts to no foul calls for his team, it's like it's excuse after excuse after excuse, and the players feed off that. I grew up playing with a coach who, we couldn't talk to the ref, we couldn't complain about a ref, we couldn't say, "Oh, that's a foul, I deserve 2 shots." Chris Finch complains every damn play, even if it's an inbound play. Like, for example, we had a fast break off a steal, got a layup. They called timeout. It flashed right over to Chris Finch arguing about what? Nothing happened on the play. We just hit a layup. That was in the third quarter run. I was mind blown because they flashed to him right away, and I'm like, is he arguing about something from last game? I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. So I think it comes from the coach, Rafi. But great question, man.
Great question. I think we mentioned this in the regular season. This team, not just Shai included, this team makes other fan bases crash out, makes other coaches crash out. We've seen the same coach crash out. We've seen the same team crash out on us. We saw Jaden McDaniels today. All of Twitter, all they're going to talk about is nonsensical conversations. They're not going to talk about enjoying basketball for what it is, for the purity of the game, the fact that A guy came into the league 11th overall, went from a 10-point per game scorer, 19, all the way to a 30-point per game scorer, led the league in drives for 5 straight years, won an MVP at a small market, turned around a rebuild. They don't want to focus on the positives of just basketball. It comes with the territory. Same for the Pacers. Same for the Knicks. It feels like the meme pages, I feel like, have ruined the negative meme pages have ruined basketball discourse to just being memes. More people care about funny stuff around the entertainment part of the NBA than actual basketball discourse the way we're doing it here. Of course, we have the basketball sickos that there's 27 of them watching us right now. But more people would way more enjoy us right now if we were hating on Anthony Edwards or if we were hating on Shai's game. I bet you we'd have like 400 people in here.
Or if we had a really bad game, because we're averaging thousands of viewers when we lose. But when we win, people aren't enjoying the actual game breakdown. This is what makes it so sweet, right? We get our viewers. We still get hundreds and hundreds when we win because they love OKC and they love good basketball. They don't fall into the trap on Twitter. And it's great to see that NBA players themselves, teammates of Shai, teammates of other teams' players in the NBA are saying he's getting to their line because he's getting fouled. He's killing you. He's absolutely destroying you. Like, he is, bro. They loved OKC 2 years ago because we weren't dominating their favorite player. But when they're seeing, like, so say a lot of people love the Timberwolves, they're gonna cry just because they're coaching their players. A lot of people could like a team, but their favorite player, like a team like Charlotte, but right now their favorite player is Ann Edwards. They're crashing out because they are getting absolutely dominated, and this is their last chance at hope of winning anything. And I would probably be crashing out too. I wouldn't be screaming at the refs, but I'd be like so mind blowing because you can't beat them. There's no way to beat them. There's like you just can't match up with them. Their depth. They want to say, oh well, they can't sign everybody. Okay, buddy, hold on, deal with it now. You're down 2-0. The fouls. It was 22-22 last game. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I'm pretty sure they were damn near even free throw attempts this game too. And if you watch the game, last game, Ant shot one layup. That's his only shot in the paint from last game. The rest of the team doesn't shoot in the paint. They tried to get it going today, but they're still jacking up a bunch of threes. Like, you got to play a certain way to get these calls. You're playing super physical and fouling. The best or second best player in the NBA, yes, he's going to get a foul call. The problem is JDub's getting to the line, Chet's getting to the line, and they're still complaining about those calls. Like, two free throw differential tonight. I can't wait to talk to Minnesota fans about that because it was 5 the first game, and they shot 26 more threes than OKC in the first game. They're done. There's no way to beat them. Just cry. I love it because then you get to see the actual basketball fans, the people who know about basketball. They watch basketball or they played it professionally somehow, college, overseas. Like, people who actually play or have really enjoy watching basketball are really enjoying watching Shai and this team, and that's what it is.
And it's what they've been asking for years now. They're like, oh, we need the physical defense, the subjacking threes, get downhill. And now that they've got it, they don't like it. And
Jack,
the Thunder is the easiest team.
Keep going.
No, Thunder's the easiest team to hate on in the league. First off, if you're a page, that's free clicks. Yeah, they're winning. It's easy to hate the winners, but
this generation grew up on Curry, so they're definitely not used to seeing a guy drive in a lot because all they like to see, and what every NBA team has implemented since Curry had that era, was we have to shoot threes or we're not going to win. And then I have another question. Do you think that the backbone of our hate is because apparently we took the Supersonics team? Do you think that's where the hate started?
Not in this.
No, because here's what happened. They loved OKC when they were just getting started with KD and Russ and Hart. They loved OKC. The better they got, the better they got. Russ, top 3 hated player of all time. Kevin Durant, top 10 hated player of all time. James Harden has his fans. A lot of people shit on him. A lot. Same thing's happening now. What Jack said, they wanted to see physical defense. They wanted to see more drives to the paint. We're bringing that. They wanted to see Ant versus Shai in the Western Conference Finals. They were begging for this 2 years ago. They finally got it, and they're all rooting for Ant because we won 68 games, and they're getting shit on. That's where the hate comes from. It's moronic, it's stupid, it's brainless, and it's really fun to watch.
Yeah. I feel like the other thing is all the Lakers fans are sitting at home, and if Luka's not in it, they're just going to bandwagon off of who they think has the next most aura, and that goes to Anthony Edwards. I feel like most casual fans relate way more with Anthony Edwards because he talks trash, acts like a tough guy, acts like a Jimmy Butler, but he can't win the same way as the way he talks is not the same performance that he puts on the court. You can act a certain way.
Consistently.
Yeah, consistently. He'll get there. I'm not saying he's not going to get there. He'll get there. He's only 23 years old. 3-4 years from now, completely different. He'll be hitting his shots, doing his thing. He'll have, solid players around him. He'll probably be making a run similar to the one we're making right now. But right now he's not that. And he's being propped up as that against a guy that's been working and grinding on his game, and he's gotten it perfected to the point where he's entering his prime, right? And that's the difference in this series, man. That's really what it is. The superstar is acting like a superstar. Another guy is just not there yet.
He's not. And I find myself rooting for him personally, Ant Edwards.
Yeah.
Not in this series. But like during the regular season, I don't want them to be a great team, but for him personally, I mean, he's an exciting player. I like his energy. He's a funny guy and just a good basketball player. But I think the best thing for him, if we do continue to go on and win this series pretty dominantly, is to get out of Minnesota. I don't think it's the right place for him. One, his energy doesn't belong in Minnesota. It belongs in Miami, New York, places like that. I'm not going to say LA because LA can't handle Ant Edwards. Another thing about getting out of Minnesota is that coach isn't helping him, and their staff isn't helping him. Their staff this year was like, all right, Ant, you just came off the best season of your career. We made it to the Western Conference Final. Let's have you shoot 15 threes a game because I think that's going to work out best for us. That's not where he's his best. I mean, if he's hot, yeah, great.
And let's trade your all-star teammate over to the Eastern Conference and pick up a guy that's known to be a playoff dropper. Like,
right.
What are you doing, man?
It's not the place to be. I mean, he became the all-time playoff leading scorer in Minnesota franchise history. That says a lot about their history. Obviously, Kevin Garnett was fantastic, won MVP there, but the dude's 23 years old and he's the franchise leading scorer. The organization itself is shit. From Alex Rodriguez being an owner to Chris Finch being a bitch. It's just that's what it is over there. And I root for the guy. I talked about it a lot, not on the show. I think Miami's the perfect fit for him. I think Miami needs Ant Edwards, and I think Ant Edwards needs Miami.
Going back to the Thunder, the big three tonight had 86 points, 17 rebounds, 15 assists on 32 of 58 field goal percentage. I mean, come on. The Oklahoma City Thunder are almost back. I'm not going to say we're back yet. We're not in the finals yet, baby. We're almost there.
Yes, sir. It's
Two more wins.
It's because they have a coach who makes some silly mistakes, but he is, I got you. Don't go at the refs. I got you. They got a all-star MVP player, leader, who says nothing to the refs. I got you. Go to coach. Let them do it. He doesn't go crazy. He doesn't lose his mind. And they have a chemistry and organization where it's, your role, and everyone plays their role the best way possible. Cason Wallace is the best Cason Wallace in the league. There is nobody like Cason Wallace, but he plays his role so great that it's like that's why we are so good. Cason could easily wake up and be like, nah, I want to shoot 12 times a game. I don't really want to work on defense like that if I'm shooting 4 times a game. but he plays his role. Same with Alex Caruso. I don't want to guard. I don't want to guard a center today. Can I get like 5 threes and get the ball in my hands a little more? No, I know Shai's way better than me offensively, and I know we need some help on the fours, and I'm going to go do that.
And that's all credit to Sam Presti because he picks guys with the right attitude, the winning mentality, like the guys who buy into the program and want to win. So I think shout out Sam Presti for that because you see guys like if I was Aaron Wiggins, I'd be pretty mad only getting 10 minutes when you know he's a scorer, but he's fine with it. He knows his time will come. When he gets called on, he'll be there.
You saw Wiggs tonight. This podcast is an Aaron Wiggins show. We love Aaron Wiggins. That's Jack's favorite player. There it is. It's
I got
right
the jersey
there.
on right now.
But tonight,
Best
I think we can all admit we saw him come in, and it probably wasn't the best matchup for him tonight. The way we were playing, putting him on Devo. We don't want DiVincenzo to get going. Not that Wiggins is a bad defender, but just having Kaysen or somebody else on him, Shai even closes that out much better. So and Wiggs is okay with that. He signed the 4-year deal for a reason. He'll come in and give you 25. Then the next day he'll get 8 minutes because it wasn't the right matchup. Now, I do have a problem when Mark sits him when he does have the right matchup and he is having a really good game. But tonight it wasn't his game, and he's gonna be fine with that. And if the next game's his, if they're running small, he's gonna ball. He's gonna have his shots. He's gonna shoot his shots. So that's just what OKC is right now. And one more thing out of me, I know I'm rambling. Jalen Williams is fucking all-star. Jalen Williams is a fucking all-star. He is all defensive team 1. All defensive team 1, not 2. He's an all-NBA type player. Bro, the shots he was making all night long are the shots he does make, but the efficiency tonight, get to my spot, body bump, fade. Turn around, fade. To the rim, strong. He went through Jaden McDaniels, through him on a play. Like, he saw him, and we used to see Jalen go up and shy away from the basket. He went through that guy and bumped him off the spot and just laid it up and then yelled in his face after. I mean, dude, he's starting to pick it up. And if he's like that every game, which he probably will be in a couple of years because it's only his 3rd season.
He could end up being better than Anthony Edwards with the efficiency, the downhill pressure, the two-way ability. Like, we literally have Shai and then we have a pseudo Anthony Edwards just as his co-star. So there's just no way Anthony Edwards by himself is beating Shai in general, but there's no way he's going to beat a big 3 that we have. On top of that, Julius Randle had 5 turnovers in game 1, 4 turnovers in game 2. Anthony Edwards had 4 turnovers in game 1. Dante DiVincenzo, 4 turnovers in game 2. McDaniels, 3 turnovers in game 1. Naz Reid, 3 turnovers in game 1. Shai and JDub combined for 3 turnovers this entire series.
Yeah, they're playing super efficient basketball, super smart basketball, getting out in transition, and they're getting better every game. That's just a different of talent level and where they're at in both of these teams. Like you said, we had 18 more wins than them. Minnesota had a lot of rough patches through the season. They had a lot of bad games that they should have won. They looked good against the Lakers. They looked good against the Warriors, but the Warriors had no Steph. And now they're running into us. And listen, it's 2-0. It's not over yet, but it's looking like a mismatch right now. It's looking like a mismatch. What did we win by? What was the final score of the first game?
1-0.
I don't have my phone up.
I can pull it up.
I pull it up real quick. I just want to mention, like,
I got you. So first game, I believe we won by like 27 or something, or 25. It was 88-114. This one we won 118-103. Both.
Right, so we won by 26 the first game. 26 the first game and 15 the second game. Do you understand how bad the fourth quarter looked tonight? And we're still winning by 15 points. 15 points? That's not a... Landon said the spread was 7.5, 8 in both games. They kept it there even after the 26-point blowout, and we're still beating them by 15. Like, that's domination. That's
Can
domination.
I give you a crazy dominating stat real quick here?
Yep.
All right. With tonight's win, the Oklahoma City Thunder have now won 60 games by 10 plus points in the regular season plus playoffs combined. They're only the second team in NBA history to accomplish this feat. The other, the NBA champions 2016-17 Golden State Warriors.
Yes, we are tied with them with the most double-digit victories regular season, postseason, and hopefully we have more games to go. And I do believe if we are to get wins, we probably will get one more to break that record. It's just another record that this team will break. There's been so many records this team has broken this year. I'm not going to list them all because it would take too long, but they're just the best team in the world, man. They really are. The only way they lose is if they beat themselves. We saw it in the Denver series. Denver didn't win one. They might have won game 6. But like game 1, we screwed it over. Game 3, we screwed it over by relying on the 3, not getting to the rim. That's it, man.
But that's why, if not already, we're going to be a super team next year. Like the media can say whatever they want, but we are a rising super team.
Yeah, and the funniest thing is the media is shitting on Shai because he's winning with a super team. This is a super team that was drafted. The super team that was drafted. The only trade that was made really, besides Caruso, was for Shai, and when nobody else was here. Dort undrafted. JDub out of Santa Clara. Chet, number 2 pick.
I have the
Hartenstein didn't play college ball, man.
I have the exact numbers or stats or whatever figures for this. For starters, 2 of them were drafted. 1 of them was traded for. 2 out of free agency. For the reserves, 7 of them were drafted. 2 of them were traded for trades, and one out of free agency, and 2 out of the starters were out of free agency as well. So only 3 trades in total that this team has made. And guess what? We have 12 players under 26 years and younger. Do you guys? I said there's a 3 to 5. I said conservatively that we have a 3 to 5 year window where we'll continuously be in the Western Conference to finals. It could go a lot longer than that if Chet and JDub develop into all NBA MVP level guys. And I feel like Chet is the guy that can develop into that. He starts developing a jumper. His handle gets a little bit cleaner. He puts on a little bit more mass. He turns into like efficient Kevin Durant at his height.
It's Chet's
with the shot
second
blocking.
season playing. It's Chet's second season playing ball. And Shai mentioned it during one of his speeches. It might have been the MVP.
It was the MVP. I know
it was.
Saying. Yeah, MVP.
We were good. Chet comes in with a 1 seed. His rookie year. Now, JDub develops a little bit more. Chet goes down. We bring in Hartenstein. We're 68 win team. I mean, Chet Holmgren is outstanding, but don't forget about JDub. This dude, what he showed me tonight was I've never seen him look like that. I think he had 40 points in San Antonio this year, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been 30. It might have been 40. This was the best game I've ever seen him play, by far. And he was the second best player on the court. Not the team, the court tonight.
He had 41 against the Spurs on March 2nd. Yep. So your memory is great.
Good. I'm not getting that old. He was the second best player on the court tonight. Not the team, the court. Behind Shai. He was.
I would put Chet right alongside with them because
I think Chet was the third best player on the court tonight.
I don't think there's a difference between Chet and JDub with the fact that they're both protecting the rim the way they are, and then they're both providing 20 points. So they're both providing what they need to do, like as second options. I don't think either of them are third option guys. I can't even, dude, there's no way anyone can ever convince me for the rest of my life that either of those guys are third options. No, I'll never do it. They're 2A, 2B. And honestly, as Chet ages, they're going to turn into 1A, 1B. And
Yeah.
I love that I clipped that.
Yeah, I mean that it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. But just to go over this game, another dominating win. Didn't love the fourth quarter. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Going into Minnesota, you take game 3. The series is over. You lose game 3. Pressure's on. You better win game 4 because you don't want to go back home 2-2 with ants smelling blood. Like I said before, just win one, and hopefully it's game 3, and that's a wrap. That's a wrap. And listen, this other series across the globe is crazy. We don't know what the hell's going to happen. I thought
It's going 7 games, man.
I thought New York was going to outclass them probably in 5 or 6.
They were supposed to.
Indiana just doesn't quit. They did it 4 times already this playoff, in the way they win games. But then they're just growing as a team as well. Halliburton's becoming into a star. Miles Turner's great. Naismith is becoming a sniper. He was a sniper on Vanderbilt, by the way. He was disgusting. Nemhard's great. Nemhard's got a mismatch with Brunson. Brunson was -8 last night because of his defense. They didn't know where to play him. They went on that run to go up by that many points with Brunson on the bench. And then he comes back in, drops 43, 46, whatever he had, and they lose. I don't know. That series is going to go crazy. We just got to focus on ours and hope that we can wait whoever wins that series. But
Yeah, I prefer a Rafi.
Yeah, of course. Rafi, I'm going to thank you for coming on, man. You're the best. We will see you next time. And Thunder up, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a good
broski.
one. But yeah, so guys, another win, 15-point win, 2-0 in the series. Sapphire, any last remarks?
Last remark is we need a Thunder up right now, man. We need to go ahead and just close this series out quickly as possible. Get back to where we should be at, which is the finals. And Shai's the MVP, man. I don't care how much you cry in my mentions. I really don't. Shai's the MVP. He's the best player in the world. I said that in my video that I made today. He's the best player in the world. He beat Nikola Jokic fair and square. He won the MVP vote in a landslide. And he's now beating Anthony Edwards. And he can go to the finals. And we can only face our opponent. People are going to say this is a quote. I can already see it before they even mention it. This is a Mickey Mouse ring. They had to deal with an Eastern Conference that didn't have the Celtics, didn't have the Cavaliers. Guess what? The Celtics had 3 games of full starters and still lost. The Celtics could have won. They had their starters as well. Tatum went out on that final game, and then they stunk it up in the next one. They had opportunities. It's unfortunate how Boston's season ended. I would have preferred.
Boston imploded, man. They really did.
I still think Boston loses that game regardless. So at the end of the day,
Tatum went out.
Yeah.
They were down.
The Pacers and the Knicks won their games and series as fairly and evenly as possible. But I don't think history is gonna, or at least present history is never gonna remember it that way as we go to the finals. And I feel like that's just how it's gonna be for Thunder fans. Just be prepared for that and know that's gonna be the narrative. And try not to get rage baited into that. We're about to win. Shai's about to go from not having an MVP to MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP, scoring title, possibly a Finals MVP, and a ring, which joins him with Shaq, Kareem, and MJ as the 3 other players that have ever done scoring title alongside an MVP and a Finals MVP with a ring. Like, there's not many players that have done this. And he also got a couple DPOY votes. Like, he's the real deal, man. He's the real deal. And we'll see you guys next time.
He is the MVP. We will see you guys next time. I'm just going to close out with, we got 2 more games to go. It's not over. But, you hear that?
I don't.
Thunder up, baby! Let's go!
Let's go, man.